Welcome back to Obduction, guys. Last time we were here, Cecil, C.W., said that we should try and turn off this red beam. Now, experience with these games has told me that he has his own agenda. So I think I want to look around. Was that lit up before? Oh no, because we just turned the power on. Silly me. Okay, let's take a look. So I did finally remember that the photos button is here. We took a picture of this. So most things are powered. The town is not. What if we can figure out how to power more things first? Also, I need to remember, man, I've got some really random pictures that I don't need. Yeah, there's that critter. It reminds me of like a drone. Okay. What's the run button again? Okay. Well, I think I want to look around a little bit and see what turning the power on has actually done. So town does not have power. We saw the tower does. And I think we checked over here. Yeah, I think we tried that door. I need to orient myself on this map again. Actually, let's head back to Farley. That's a good place to look. I am going to try and either turn off or do something with that red beam. But there's always the awareness. I keep thinking, okay, so this is a thing. I grew up in Saskatchewan, and we don't have, like, usually if I was hearing, I think those are cicadas that we can hear, or at least something that is supposed to be similar. Hot bug sounds is what my brain calls them. Growing up in Saskatchewan, the only time I heard that noise is if I was over by the power line. Anyway, it throws me off. There are lights on inside Farley now. Can we go in? No. Can't open these windows.
seeing this, then I wasn't able. Just in case. Welcome. But it's probably not safe here. To be blunt, we're getting ready for a battle. I don't know what you'll find. I just thought I should. Just be cautious with who you trust. CW may be here. I don't know. Just be careful. I've got to go. See you soon. And don't panic. As jarring as this experience is, you really will find Hunter out to be a decent price.
Okay. I mean, clear allusion to possibly not trusting CW. Okay. Well, we can see in, but we can't get in yet. At least not in a way that I see. This didn't go anywhere? Okay, this didn't go anywhere. Okay. I mean, there's a pretty clear hint that we should go push that button that the light is lighting up. These glowy rocks are so odd. Open sesame. Okay. So. I see. If I can unlock that from this side. Oh, those are the little scooter car things. Is that what that is? No, it's not. It looks like, no, it's on rails. It does look like a little scooter thing, but like with sails. So interesting. Okay. Is that the door we couldn't open? Oh wow, there's a whole bunch of stuff here. Okay. Oh, it is these things energizing the rock. Okay. Membrane. Wall, tower, locomotive generator, scrapyard. Okay. So there were more. We've got more things that weren't done yet. Swap machine functionality. That's fascinating. Okay. Dimensional projector produces apparently solid apparitions. So that's these little imagers we've been watching. Ruko says all projectors have similar power levels, so there's some alien that's been coaching them. 3 primary elements: projector, beam, control arms, communications arm. I don't know if we need these numbers. 7-volt communications. Yeah, I'm gonna bet we do need these numbers. The Mofangs, so that's some race. Yeah, so I haven't been able to figure out when CW was saying Mofang and what was the other word? Carfing? I can't tell if it's just like alien swear words or if it's an alien language, like if it's a proper noun. Turns out Mofang is a proper noun. Okay. Checking for potential hidden lethality, Mayor's suggestion. Checks out, can't find anything destructive. So they were suspecting the Mofangs already. Side effect: projection intersecting any part of a cell wall suppresses transport. So I wonder if he's talking about the bubble. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, he said he locked the bubble using the Mofang device. Okay. Consistent, spurious, very high frequency background carrier. That one will be the nefarious thing that the mayor was worried about, is my guess. Unless it's actually something for the people's own good. Okay. So we've got this projector doing its thing, showing us rock. Oh, no. This looks like I should be able to look through it. Oh, this is the seed swapper thing that I was talking about. Okay, those are pieces of a shell. Okay, so the blue beams do something. Please change Farley's lock code to secure the vault. Her address backwards should suffice. So they were locking Farley out for some reason. Lock tree gate, Farley's house. Okay. Oh my gosh, those rocks aren't real. I should have put that together already. Okay. Turn on imager rocks. Okay. Well, I've got more things to explore. I need to basically revert these things. Reverse them, I mean. Designed to disable anything based on moving technology. Disables when the blue beam / cloud is within 1.5 feet of a Mofang device. Elements physically collapse. Reassembly is possible, but non-trivial. That bar assures me it's not harmful. Ruko has not been told. The villains provided it. Okay. 2 separate races. Interesting.
All right, now move around just a bit.
This is awkward.
Why are you so nervous? This is just a test.
Okay, now what? Okay, that's enough.
Caroline, I swear you are a natural.
Where did you get these anyway? Are the Mofangs just giving you stuff now?
Being generous of late. Not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth.
Interesting. Ambassador seed swap machine. The seeds recharge naturally, but it's tied to the tree health. I gotta make sure I get water back at that tree. Okay. sure if I should have. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. I actually don't know at all what I'm doing. I mean, it was a button to push. It was a thing to do. So I did it. It's like not really anything over here. Nothing over here. Okay. So you're just supposed to see things. Plug in the battery. So, this is the other device. They've also got it on a cart. Is there a way? You know what I think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna see if I can get through. Well, I want to check out the tree, but I want to see if I can get through some of those projected rocks. Tree. Let's give you some water. I can't get across there. Okay. What else was on that list? Locking. Lift minecart. So that one will be the blue beam. Turn on moving disabler, that's the red beam. Shut the garage door. I think that's where I came in. Pump water from fruits. I just turned back on. Turn on imager rocks. I'm gonna see if I can turn those off. Swing bridge. I've opened divert river. I've opened turn off power. I've turned back on. Dome disabler. Okay. Yeah. I want to see if I can get through those rocks. Now, I think yeah, that is the doorway right there. There's a cart in the way. There isn't a way to move the cart yet. Okay. Okay. Well, let's bring the blue beam down. Blue beam cart down. Isn't there a button here? I thought there was a button. I guess there is not. I might have to wait on that one. Is this where we saw projected rocks? This is one of them. This is one of them. It's pretty solid. So we gotta come up with a way to turn them off. Can't just walk through them. No power over here yet. We've got power down there. Can I get in? That's new. List of past mayors. Okay, I wonder if I can get in here now. No, it's still locked. Is it actually new or did I just not see it? It's like a bunker. Interesting. I feel like there was like clear division among the like town people, residents. Like Farley was one half, CW and the mayor were the other. I don't think there's anything else. Maybe I can go check over here. Oops. I keep accidentally taking pictures because I'm reflexively hitting spacebar. Because in Minecraft, that's how you jump. But you don't jump in this game. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay. I need to go back to the other side. Where the generator and stuff were. We plugged in the seed thing, ambassador seed swap machine. Right, yeah. I have no clue what we'd be swapping. But the swapping machine, which looks to have the same technology as the blue beam alien guys. Just like, I'm looking at these little projector nodule things. Stairs, that would make sense. This is one of the bridges. Oh, we have to get to it from a different side. There's a way to get in. Oh. Okay. Not letting us in there yet. Let's come back to the tower here. Because that was definitely a thing. Also, blue beam technology. No, that's not this just goes out. Yeah. It's a dead end at the moment. This one. So we've got power this way now. Oh. Is this the back of Farley? I need to go back and look at her address. That's how we get into Farley. Okay. All the way around. This is one of the unfortunate things. I'm really glad they've supplied me with a camera. It's a little bit frustrating that So what I should have done is when I got that clue that I would need Farley's address, I should have gone back and taken a picture of it immediately. It would have saved this entire run. Okay. But we're here. Now, is it on the mailbox? Haha. 1436. Oh, it's right there too. 1436. Okay. Picture. Because it's supposed to be backwards. One of the Myst games, I seem to remember we had a notebook where we could write our own notes to self in game. I might be remembering wrong because it was a long time ago that I played it, but I'm feeling like that'd be really handy right now. I didn't grab a physical notebook for this one. Maybe I should have. We do have the checklist for the reversing the lockdown procedure, and that's helpful. But CW's instructions, like the current goal of trying to turn off the red beam, that's the part. That's the part I'm not sure I'll remember. Okay, picture 6341. Six, 3, 4, 1. First try. I am loving this music. Okay. I have no clue what that is, but it's important and was hidden, so I'm hiding it again. We've got some doorknobs. They barricaded themselves in. Oh my gosh. That in a minute. Oh, they're so scary. This must be Scarlet's stuff. So there's a project by somebody to bring these 4 species of aliens, including humans, together. Oh dear. That looks like somebody went crazy. Okay. Let's watch this. Spot between wall and tower. Right there. Interesting. Okay. I shall document the curious events that have transpired with myself, my family, friends, and co-workers. Hartnell was a peaceful mining town founded by my grandfather and nestled within the red rock of the desert of the Arizona Territory. Its 163 inhabitants heard a mighty explosion on the night of June 27th, 1903. I sent several workers through the town to verify the explosion had not caused any injuries or damage to mining equipment. They returned and reported that it must have been a loud clap of thunder caused by dry lightning, for they found no damage. It was not until the light of next morning that we were amazed to realize something profound had indeed occurred. At some point during that night, our entire mining facility and a large circle of land around it seemed to have been scooped up and carried off to a completely different place, all without anyone knowing about it. So that's the first swap. That must be the seed swap thing. Okay. The entire landscape outside of our circle of desert could only be described as alien. Large floating rocks could be seen in the distance. No one had ever seen anything like it anywhere on Earth. We fully explored our new surroundings, hoping to find a way home. No way home was ever found. In fact, as soon as we discovered that what we take for granted now, not only could we not get back home, we also could not access the landscape outside the desert. Curiously, we discovered that a flow of water was provided from a high point of rock, and we discovered a small tree growing in the very center of the circle. Our central tree that is so important to our lives here was just a mere sapling back then. Mofang. Although through ambassador seeds, the Mofang were the first non-human species humans were introduced to. Anne Liang was the first to call the alien a Mofang, impressed with their advanced ability to imitate our sounds, movements, and mannerisms. Oh, okay. That's foreshadowing. Although they have a name for themselves, their language is mostly unpronounceable by humans. And as a result, because of their mimicry abilities, communication with the Mofang is primarily accomplished by their learning human languages rather than humans learning to speak Mofang. They've been able to learn almost every human language represented in Hunrath, enough to provide functional if rudimentary communication. The Mofang basic external morphology is remarkably humanoid. Bilateral, symmetrical tetrapods, bipedal, head with anterior facial features, mouth, eyes, nostrils. Other external features include minimal body hair and raised dorsal protrusions. Constitution is somewhat frail, due apparently to their thin and lightweight internal structure, but internal investigation has not been possible. I mean, thank goodness you don't want to dissect your new friends. They have ample cranial space to account for a substantial brain, and their intelligence is impressive as evidenced by their advanced technology. Okay, traditional alien face. RI. After a certain level of maturity and health of the tree, a passage opened at its base. This passage allowed contact with two additional species. The first contact was with the RI. The first contact revealed the RI to be large beetle-like insects. We were unable to communicate directly with them in any way, but they appeared to have some rudimentary intelligence. It was Lorinc Toth. Her first made the journey through the heart to Kaptar, and named both the New World and the inhabitants. The RI have three distinct variants that have come to be referred to as barnacle, beetle, and polyarch. Although their morphology is dramatically different from human, their internal systems, like all of our neighbors, are supported by similar atmospheric composition and basic nutrients. In their barnacle stage, the RI are completely immobile. The RI stay in this egg-like development state seemingly indefinitely. In order to hatch, they must be in proximity of a polyarch and fertilized by the beetles after a certain stage of maturity. The beetles are the eyes and ears, hands and feet. With only a minimal nervous system of their own, they're essentially the sensory extensions of the immobile polyarchs. They're able to execute simple commands, but apparently have very little in the way of individual sentience. Interesting. The RI polyarchs are the intelligence and consciousness of the species. Though it was obvious there was intelligence behind the species, it wasn't until Caroline Farley began spending large amounts of time in close proximity that deeper communication began. With a room nearby, Farley was first to communicate non-verbally and learn much about the species, including some historical information. I wonder if they're psionic. The RI species survived in their world while several other sentient species came and went, among them an ancient species who formed a deeper relationship with the RI, carving temples and dwellings for them in the rocks, and later, a more recent species that took over much of their homeworld. This latter species was especially adept at mechanical construction, using it mostly to capture and process large flying creatures, and using the beetles as bait. Villain. The final species to be discovered were the Villain. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. The Villain had been communicating with the RI for many years through ambassador seeds, but became part of the larger community very shortly after the RI. With a large and imposing frame and a form of communication based on complex, multi-voiced, low-frequency rumble, the initial introductions were intimidating. After several attempts, Amelia Vidal was able to begin some rudimentary communication and began visiting the Villain in Mare, which she named on a regular basis. She discovered a complex and amazing society that was able to use their technology in unexpected ways. They had the ability to quickly transform their world using extruding structures based on some form of complex miniature substrate material. Unlike the other worlds, the Villain sphere is scooped out of a Villain resettlement group that was preparing to set off into space to find a new homeworld. This is their way of life, to put themselves into stasis and scatter themselves through the stars. As mentioned previously, their appearance is imposing, standing about 9 feet tall with a distinct reptilian resemblance. They have 6 limbs, 2 muscular legs and arms, and a smaller set of arms. They control every aspect of their technology with their vocalizations, but over the years they've created control panels based on their number systems that allow other species to easier access elements of their technology. Oh. Okay. We take communication for granted, even with the varied languages we find here in Hunrath, but when we suddenly find ourselves among other intelligent species who don't share our culture, history, DNA, or vocal cords, it requires a huge amount of effort for the beginning of rudimentary chatting. This quick overview will set the stage for what to expect when communicating with neighbors. Some similar vocal generations from the Mofang, picked up human words quickly. Huge grammatical differences were not easily overcome. Some have proposed the difficulty may have arisen because the Mofang insisted on attempting to learn every human language, and as a result, were never able to lock on to any consistent grammatical structure. Contact Tam if you want to know more about communicating with Mofang. Villain produce sounds using 2 large reed-like structures inside their heads. Vibrations are channeled to resonance chambers in their skulls. They are unable to hear most of the sounds associated with human speech, so it has relied on technology to communicate. They've adapted consoles for use by their species, and over the years, some individuals of other species, including humans, have learned to communicate very effectively using this method. Humans have been able to pick out some higher frequency characteristics of certain key Villain words over the years, although we can't speak to them in a way the Villains can understand. We are occasionally able to hear and recognize these words if they're spoken distinctly by the Villain. If you want to learn more, talk to Vito. Okay. None of the stages of the RI morphology have any vocalization. Because of the obvious synchronization of the barnacle flash and the ability of the pawns to provide and address the needs of the polyarchs, it was assumed the species could communicate effectively. It was not until Farley began to spend large amounts of time with the polyarch in the polyarch antechamber that the first clues to communication became evident. After months of research, Farley began to have limited success with receiving some kind of simple messages from the polyarchs. It's apparent now they had been attempting to communicate the entire time, but they themselves had been experimenting with various channels until they finally got a response from Farley. And after this breakthrough, others were able to tune in to the polyarchs and learn to listen. Both the polyarchs and the pawns have a simple organ that can sense human vocal frequency, enabling them to sense simple responses from humans. But over the years, Farley was able to learn to speak with the polyarchs via a related form of ESP, transmission. Okay. Okay. Ambassador seeds. Collector seeds. Okay, everybody who arrives is familiar with the collector seeds. The bright light we are all drawn to. They come in pairs. When the tree drops a collector seed on the ground, it signals that its twin has begun its quest for a new being. That search may take hours or years. When an appropriate situation, possibly unnatural threat of death, is found, the seed activates and swaps a smaller sphere from Earth. Okay. Unlike ambassador seeds and mother seeds, collector seeds don't survive. Mother seeds postulated. Okay. I think any dangers you noticed? Okay. All sorts of places, time periods. It's an adorable koala. I think this must be Scarlet's.
Well, I feel like I should say something. We haven't heard from Shavar. So, well, so we assume that Shavar, well, the attack is inevitable. We just don't know when. So, Shavar and her family, and others she trusts, I guess, well, they'll arrive when they can, without giving, like covertly. so the plan will happen. In spite of our, my God. We're locking down as much as possible here and moving everybody out. CW will stay here, and I'll go to Murray at the last possible moment. Most are gone. There's just a few left here now. The mayor got out early. I don't even know why I'm recording this. It's like somehow we'll live on or something. I guess this has meaning if someone listens, but who? A new one? A new arriver. Oh, God, the kiosk out front. I need to update that message. We all lost everything. Everything but our stories. And they shouldn't be forgotten. I was 3. It was April of 1983. Cecil, it was 1870 for you. Sam and Vera, you tell it like it was yesterday, but it's been 62 years since you saw that blast of light. And that's where all of our news stories began, that light. It streaked across the sky, mesmerizing, but unnerving. Some of you were alone. I wasn't. My dear grandma, God bless her, rejoiced as if it was some forebearer of good fortune. Vera, you said you recall smiling. None of us understood. But, well, we followed. Whether it was in the deep woods like Cecil or right outside town like Jane and Jenny, we were drawn to see more. Grandma lifted me from the carriage on the porch and walked into the yard so we could watch it unobstructed. Even in daylight, Joseph, you said it was gloriously bright. But in the twilight, it was spellbinding. And we all felt some kind of trepidation, and yet attraction as we approached it, and it approached us. So close, so radiant, and that sound, deep and vibrant, organic. You all remember, there was no turning away. It advanced, almost like purposefully, spinning slowly until, well, it found us, each of us. We should tell these stories because it saved us, and there must be more.
It was in the middle of the afternoon.
I was watching the sunrise.
It was about 2:30 in the morning. December 26, 1948.
May 7th, 2009. September 3rd, 1995.
I was down by the river.
I was hiking in the desert, in the park with my grandson.
I looked up and saw
A brilliant flash of light that
exploded in the sky.
the light it climbs the clouds and behind the trees and
it disappeared. I looked around and, to see.
see if there was anyone around.
There was no one around.
They all saw it too. Mom definitely saw it. Well, it was just beautiful. There was something calming about it.
Yeah, I don't mind telling you, I was kind of freaking out. I tried to follow it, tried to get a better look at it.
Wanted to see it again.
I came to a place where it had disappeared.
Overlooked, but I found nothing. And it streaked through the sky again.
It seemed like it was looking for something. Or looking for someone.
And then it found me. And it found me.
Found me.
It found me.
Found me.
Found me. Found me.
It found me.
Well, I think this is a good place to end this episode. We managed to get into Farley's community center, and she's clearly been doing a lot of research and trying to understand the civilizations that have kind of all been brought together. Yeah, we'll leave it off here.